ladies and gentlemen, dudes and dudettes. I am Matt Burns, and with me this week, he is none other than John Ballore.
Hello. Good evening. I assume you're listening to this in the evening. That's quite an assumption. Hello and welcome.
Yes.
Whatever time of day it is.
Correct. We are the Burning Truth. And some of you may have already recognised straight away, yes, two things. One, it's Monday, and you might have already seen the post that's already gone out stating, we'll do it on Bank Holiday Monday. And the other one is that we are not live.
No, we are not. You know, busy schedules and all that. We did our best, but
yes. That
this
we did.
is the situation in which we find ourselves.
That we do, because some of us have family that they need to go visit, especially since it's birthdays.
Yeah.
So others have got prior engagements due to busy schedules.
Indeed. And some of us just live a long way from Matt Burns, and so, you know, I have to fit the phone call in around entirely separate lives. But we get it done most weeks.
We get it done. We get the job done.
Right, so we got a shed load to talk about this week.
That we do, and fingers crossed that the internet gods are praising upon us.
The amount of issues I've had today, they're not, but let's not go there and let's just keep those fingers crossed.
Don't be jinxing us right now, otherwise, you know, we'll have to, you know, if we do have any glitches, we are still going to be carrying on. We are still going to be carrying on as if it's almost live as it is.
Yes.
So, with that all being said, would you kindly please?
The following broadcast will make discussions regarding professional wrestling and will contain the opinions of the presenters. This broadcast therefore may contain language which is not suitable for younger listeners, listeners of a nervous disposition, and other listeners. This program may also contain strobe lighting effects.
May, even though we are audio. Just point that out.
Yeah, well, it might. You never know.
You never know. Anyway, we've got a lot to cover, and
so,
with that, let's get down to business. Straight into it. We've got to head straight into our usual mention of we fully support of Black Lives Matter and hashtag speaking out, and that for either one of them, you know, we've always got a mic available or an ear open up on the broadcast for anybody who wants to voice an opinion on the subjects of the nature. As for in regards to any allegations or accusations, please understand that we do not allow them on the air. Yeah. If it is that you've got accusations to make, please report them to the local authorities.
Yeah. Report them to the relevant authorities, let them deal with them in a legal manner, and only come on air to clear the air with us once the authorities have established that there's no potential for discrepancy, and that by doing so on air with us, you're not going to A, get yourself or us sued, or B, undermine the case in any way.
And speaking of which...
Yep.
Right, there has been across social media somebody who has come out highlighting hashtag speaking out with a fairly big list.
Yes.
And with some names on said list, and there is also a video clip with accusations of what they are being accused of.
Yeah.
As such, we are not stating the names. We are not stating whose list it is.
We're not stating any direct facts. We are simply saying it's out there, and so if you wish to research it, all the usual caveats apply. Do so in your own time. We are not responsible for anything that is not on the Burning Truth website, and not for any external links that are on it either.
Yeah, and
So, do so at your own risk.
On top of that, however, my colleague doesn't know the list itself. I do.
Don't.
I've seen what has been the accusation that has been mentioned. The accusations, and I will say, some of them, if are confirmed, are very damning.
Yes.
We are not just talking end of career.
No.
Damning.
Yes. Obviously, we don't want to mention too much more than that until
more has come out
or otherwise. But needless to say, shit's getting serious.
Pretty much. That's the best way we can essentially describe it as. So, with all that, we're going to leave that there for the time being. If there is anything more that does need to be discussed, we'll hopefully discuss them.
Yes.
We'll hopefully discuss them in a legal manner.
In a safe and legal way. Yeah.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, we have now got some topics to cover. The main topics for this week are, well, of course, we've got our usual end of show, which is going to be either the epic win of wrestling moments or the epic fail of wrestling moments, or we're going to go down in that. We've also got to discuss the WWE Payback 2020 Fallout.
Yes, because hey, WWE don't just want to do 2 events in a weekend. No, they want to do that, and then they want to do another one the very following weekend. It's almost too much to keep up with.
Almost, with no actual without any explanation of why certain matches have happened.
No, well,
anyway,
generally speaking, when you get the entire length of build-up of 1 week of TV for a show, yes, unfortunately, most of them are probably going to be like that. Pretty much. But yeah, we've got that to talk about. But first,
before we get to there, and there's another one. We've also got the extra additional topic that was requested.
Oh yeah, which I believe we don't have a proper name for, but technically,
you don't
Central.
Gloat Central, and however, I believe the person in question refers to themselves as JR, and we're not on about Jim Ross.
JR.
He calls himself JR. He's dubbed JR, but he's not actually good old JR, if you understand me. But anyway, we digress.
But anyway, I'm sure I'll find you again when we talk about it shortly, but that's not what we're going to start with. So.
No, unfortunately, we have got to start off with some unfortunate news.
Yes, some unfortunate news tied to both wrestling and, well, since we mentioned Black Lives Matter, someone kind of important to that movement. And
it's not just that he was important to the movement, he was also an absolute iconic of a person, synonymous with the Marvel Universe, and genuinely all-round amazing person.
Yes.
The first one we'll cover is the wrestler, which is none other than Bullet Bob Armstrong. In case anybody wants to know who Bullet Bob is, he is the father of, I believe he has 3 or 4 sons, is it?
Yeah, 3 or 4, yeah.
One of them,
probably the most mainstream famous, who most wrestling fans will immediately recognise, has been known, amongst many other names, as Road Dogg.
Road Dogg, Jesse James, a.k.a. BG James, pretty much knows how to, pretty much has a mic to start off his entrance.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Best way to cover it.
Of Road Dogg, and I would say at least 2 or possibly 3 other people, at least one of whom was also a wrestler.
All of his boys, all of his children were involved in the wrestling business.
which is impressive. But as we say, the one you'd know most is most likely Road Dogg.
Yeah, pretty much.
But nonetheless, it's not Road Dogg we're talking about here. We are
Bullet Bob
celebrating
Armstrong.
the life of Bullet Bob.
Of Bullet Bob Armstrong. And a lot of people have stated, if you've ever watched my promos, and some people saying, how did you learn how to be such a good do good at promos? You watch Bullet Bob.
Indeed. And that's not just you, is it? You said that's a lot of people in the business.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot. Because he knew how to get the crowd behind him on a promo, a speech. He was almost like, he was almost like his own version of Dusty Rhodes, but in a different way.
Yeah, he had just as much effect, just not using necessarily the same tactics.
Yes.
Yeah. And he will, as with everyone in the industry, when they pass away, before their time or not, it's always before their time because we don't wish anyone away, they will be sorely missed.
Correct. And he is also recognised as a Hall of Famer as well.
Yes.
And in case anybody wants to know who the other person we are paying tribute to, that would be none other than the actor who played Black Panther.
Yes.
But who was named Chadwick Boseman.
Yes, Chadwick Boseman, who, of course, is most famous for playing Black Panther, but has
many
other
roles,
all of which, he's out with his trademark vigour, and he'll be really, really sorely missed because in his case, what was he, 43? Way before his time.
Way before his time. So, with that, we are going to give the 5-bell salute.
Yep.
To both of them.
What? One for both or one each?
Together.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Please, R.I.P. Bullet Bob Armstrong and Chadwick
Boseman. And if you watched any sporting events over the weekend, for example, like I did the Formula One, you may have seen the people involved, such as Lewis Hamilton when he won the Belgian Grand Prix, doing a certain pose when they won in tribute to Boseman, and using what is probably the #1 trending hashtag on Twitter even to this day, which comes from the Black Panther film.
That it does. But anyway,
okay, I was expecting you to jump in and tell them what it was, but
of course, I know what it is. Putting the hands together. Wakanda forever.
Yes. The only reason Matt Burns didn't immediately say it, of course, is because he was stood there with his head bowed and his arms crossed in reverence.
Pretty much. And
okay,
right, we've now got
as
to
sad
move on.
as that is, we must move on.
And get ready. Soapbox incoming.
Oh dear.
With the
confession incoming.
With the included of the smug corner.
The inclusion of Smug Corner. Oh yes, Smug Corner And my new nickname just for this week of Mr. Damn It Gets Boring being right all the time.
Let's just say I had a friend of mine by the name of JR. Let's just take to me during the last week's episode, during the previous week's episodes. Let's hear your thoughts. In regards to SummerSlam and everything. And then after hearing it, he was like, "Whoa! Tell us how you really feel about Karrion Kross." And then what happened on NXT this week is like, oh, I wonder how JB feels.
Really? Honestly, you're going to do this now? Okay. One word, vindicated.
Right.
I was right. La, la, la.
Right.
No, do you know what? I often go onto this show and I often go off on tangents, and quite a lot of the time in the past, I've come on and I've gone, not just on The Burning Truth either, but when I've been talking to Matt Burns in real life, I've said things and I've gone, Superstar X ain't going to amount to nothing. Or Superstar Y, absolute next big thing, they're going to build the company on him. Usually, whatever I say is the polar opposite of what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, just for once, it's nice to be right.
Right. I'm going to maybe have to disagree a little bit.
Really? Oh, no. Seriously, time for a disclaimer. Don't get me wrong. I am not happy about the injury. Not even for a second.
No.
I don't wish injury on anyone. It's not the way I wanted things to happen.
Yeah.
The only reason I am smug is simply because I did say I wasn't particularly buying what WWE was selling, and
neither was the NXT Championship.
Nor was the NXT Championship, which said, do you know what? I'm going to listen to that bloke in England that does a broadcast about wrestling. I mean, fair play. The NXT Championship gets handed to the person that at that particular moment is, in the eyes of NXT management, who count, the most deserving.
Yes.
I disagree on this occasion. I did not think this particular person was
you did disagree, and then the belt decided to just go, I think I'm going to have to go away from him now because he's injured.
Yes.
Now,
I did not think he was the most deserving person, but I didn't wish him injured, and so, it's tinged with a little hint of, no, I didn't wish the injury on him. I don't dislike him that much. I just didn't think he was ready for the position he was put in.
Which, on top of it, I think personally may have actually affected his match.
Very possibly.
It may have well been the reason why it wasn't what we expected, because if he was already hurt during the match, that could have contributed to it.
Indeed. It's not for us to tell, because, of course, we don't know. We can only speculate on that front.
Yeah, so with that, we will have to just state, because of knowing the records, that we do actually have the match as a high regard because of the injury. He was having to work through an injury as such. But how do you really feel about Karrion Kross now being a former NXT?
Put it this way. How do I really feel now?
Yeah.
Now, this is a golden opportunity for him.
Yeah.
To sit on the sidelines, recuperate, get better, come back stronger, and when he does come back, when he's fully healed, to prove me wrong. And to prove that he is worthy of literally steamrolling everyone in NXT and taking the championship in record time. When he comes back, he will get the opportunity to maybe have a slightly longer build-up. And like I say, remove any of my doubts regarding his unreadiness for the role, which I, frankly, had plenty of.
Yeah. Now, what are your thoughts on the promo? If you've seen it.
I have, unfortunately, been victim of BT Sport.
Ooh.
I used to watch NXT live every Wednesday when it came out, and then it became part of BT Sport's WWE coverage, and now I have a week's delay, so I don't get to see last week's NXT until this Wednesday.
Ouch.
Yeah. But I have heard many things, most of them positive.
Yeah, it was a bit of an interesting promo.
Yeah.
It was an interesting promo, fairly decent, personally.
Fair enough.
And it sort of... You actually felt sorry for him. But at the same time, also got over that, he wants to fight, but at the same time, it's like, management won't let me because of this injury I've got, even though I love it.
I know what you're saying. I know where you're coming from.
But
it's not
exactly. He sounded more sinister by being less shouty.
Well, that can only be a good thing because, if there's one thing that I did level at him as a massive complaint, it was he was supposed to be like sort of NXT's equivalent of,
Dexter Lumis?
I wasn't going to say Dexter Lumis. Sort of Dexter Lumis crossed a little bit with elements of Bray Wyatt and elements of The Undertaker in that he can actually talk, whereas Dexter Lumis doesn't. But he wasn't coming across that way, and it was a little bit disappointing. So, my main hope is I'm literally like, I hate everything that he's done. I don't like the fact he had the title given to him on a plate, but I hope he takes this opportunity to come back bigger, stronger, better, faster, shinier. Oh, wait, no, that's Tegan Knox. And proves me wrong when he does come back.
Fair enough. All good. It's all good to hear.
Yes, because, I'm not one of those people who's just like, I've written him off, so I've written him off forever, because that's not how the world works.
There's always the saying with wrestling, never say never.
No. I mean, just imagine, I have to imagine there were plenty in 1997, having only ever exclusively watched wrestling in the then WWF bubble, who took one look at Vince McMahon's latest signing, the Ringmaster, and went, well, he ain't going to amount to shit. And later had to eat massive amounts of crow. And I am hoping that similarly in the future that is the case for me, and Karrion Kross proves me that wrong.
That's nice.
Fingers crossed for him.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so we've established, unfortunately he's injured. This week's NXT also feature the match for the new champion, or is that
next week? Next week.
That's cool.
And what a match.
Just a bit.
What a match.
4 of the most deserving people on the NXT... 4 of the most deserving people left on the NXT roster after the 5th one was apparently deemed ready for the main roster after having been champion for 5 minutes.
Which we'll cover.
Let's not go there.
Let's not go there because, that reminds me. Cheers for the reminder. You had just give me a real quick reminder of a topic that we're going to have to cover. And I might actually put it under epic fail of wrestling moments. And
if we want to do that for this week, that's absolutely fine.
It is recent as well.
Are we talking SummerSlam or are we talking Payback? Like recent?
We are talking within weeks, within a month. Oh dear.
Anyway, the match on NXT for the championship to crown a new champion looks like it's going to be killer. Psycho killer. in fact.
Oh.
Hashtag Daddy's Home.
And we're not talking about the good guy here.
No. We want the psycho killer back.
Oh, no. The psycho killer's come back.
Yeah.
Just ask Tony Atlas.
Tony Atlas?
Is it Tony Atlas?
Do you mean Jake Atlas?
Jake Atlas, yeah. My mistake, yeah. Just ask Jake Atlas.
Yes. Well, you know.
Well, when he wakes up.
The side of the head a couple of times, try and wake him up first and then ask him.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But yeah.
But anyway.
That is something I'm looking forward to immensely.
In case anybody wants to know what the match is, Fatal 4-Way, Iron Man, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. Would you cover the other two? Baby.
And stop it. And the fourth man is... It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think. My mind's gone blank.
Really? You're forgetting this person's name. From... hailing from Ireland.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Is he?
No, I'm joking. Obviously.
I had to think, is he Ireland? First for a second, I was like, I hope he is.
Yes.
Yes. He trained Becky.
The man who doesn't watch the industry, but the industry watches him.
Correct. He is the real rock and roller.
The man who has a T-shirt with an F and 3 X's on the front of it. Means Finn, honest. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Exactly. It's none other than Finn Balor.
Yes. So, excuse me.
Who's your money
on?
On?
Capable guys you couldn't hope to find. What?
Who's your money on?
I did think that I've rather telegraphed that move when the first words I said on the subject were hashtag Daddy's Home. But, okay, just in case you didn't get it from that subtle hint, hashtag Sicilian Psychopath for Champ.
Hashtag don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, probably not, because NXT has a habit recently of not doing things I'd like it to. But, hey, I'm going
to go in a different direction.
Well, put it this way. Either it's going to be the reunion and Daddy's Home officially, or he's going to get screwed out of it by a certain someone in order to reignite a rivalry that, for as long as both of them are in NXT and breathing, will never die.
Pretty much.
Yes.
I don't even think it's going to be them. Either one of them.
Really?
I don't. You're probably sitting there thinking, really, you're going to go with him? He's just lost about. I don't think him either. I'm going to go with the industry.
Think that right before the end of the match that someone is going to get taken back to 1916?
Pretty much.
Okay, fair enough. I don't. I think it's going to be one.
I'm going to go with Finn Balor.
Gargano or Ciampa to reignite that feud because, let's face it, it was like the highlight of NXT TV for nearly a year. It's not done yet.
True, but then take into account Finn Balor's record with takeovers. Need I say more?
But that's the beauty of a four-way match, is he doesn't have to lose his record. He doesn't have to be the one that takes the fall.
He needs the win. But anyway, we digress.
We do.
Anyway, let's get to WWE Payback 2020.
Oh, dear me. Hot off the heels of a run of no weeks without a pay-per-view.
Right. I'm going to mention the matches, the match results, what our predictions was, and our thoughts on the match.
Yes.
First match, the result was the Riot Squad, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan defeating the Iconics, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce.
Peyton Royce. Yeah. As I have stated many a time in this particular broadcast, I'm not a regular watcher of the main roster. Right?
Yep.
Last time I watched, spectacular breakup. Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan hate each other, and Riot Squad imploded noisily. How come they're back together again? What did I miss?
Ruby Riott said she was sorry. The Iconics. Sorry, I have to say that now because every time I look at the name Icon.
Yeah, it's silly. It's like back in the day, the core having 2 R's in it. There's just no need.
Why the hell is it? How is it just Iconics with 2 eyes? It should be 1 damn eye.
Yeah, I think the whole point is it's kind of because there's 2 of them kind of deal. I know it doesn't make any sense, but that's hashtag WWE.
Don't make sense. Don't make sense. This doesn't make sense.
I agree.
But anyway,
hello. Welcome to the world of befuddlement I get every time I see that's not how you spell Jackson Riker and his name on the screen.
Oh, you mean the person who doesn't appear on screen anymore?
Well, yeah, before he
anyway,
royally shot himself in the foot. But anyway, moving on.
Oh god. Right, the whole feud was that Billie Kay and Peyton Royce were messing with Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan because Ruby Riott was trying to apologise to Liv Morgan, saying she was wrong. She openly admitted. The match is... Right, we both went for the Riot Squad. Thank God.
Yes.
However, the match itself is... Right, language barrier already. For
less
fuck's
than
sake.
stellar, politely, shall we say?
Less than stellar, for fuck's sake. How the fuck do they get... Do they think Liv Morgan is an absolute grade A idiot?
Well, apparently, yes.
Right.
I mean, I don't know why she stands for it, but yeah, apparently they do, and yeah.
She's trying to make a reach for Ruby Riott to get tagged in. Right. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm trying to remember which one's which, out of the Iconics.
Peyton Royce is the...
Yeah,
I don't know if it's blonde or brown, but she's the light-haired one.
Right.
And Billie Kay's the one with black hair.
Peyton was stopping Ruby Riott from tagging.
Yep.
And Billie Kay came round, pulled off Liv Morgan off the side to hit her.
Yeah.
And as she fell down, hit the canvas. Or somehow, Peyton somehow possibly clocked her when Billie couldn't succeed. And then when she fell off the ringside, you got Billie saying, "Oh, it was Ruby Riott who hit you. She hit you. She hit you." And I'm thinking to myself, in my head,
in a moment when both Kay and Royce were within 3 feet of Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott was on the other side of the ring, and they were trying to blame her.
No, I mean, they are right next to each other, all of them were, but I'm thinking to myself, if Ruby Riott had hit her, wouldn't the referee register as a fucking tag?
Yes. Oh, and also, if Liv Morgan actually fell for that, then, wow.
They actually put the doubt in her mind. They made it look like she was doubting it.
Fair enough.
And then I was like, oh god.
Can I just say, by the way?
Yeah.
Just as an aside to that.
Yeah.
The Thunderdome.
Oh no. We'll get to that later.
Oh, okay. Have we got a separate soapbox for that then?
No, that's for... Can you remember here's the clue. Epic fail wrestling moments.
Right, okay then, yes.
There's an epic fail moment for the Thunderdome. That's all I'm saying.
Good.
Or should I say a few?
In a bit then.
Right? My problem is, I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, didn't the Iconics used to be women's tag team champions?
Briefly, yes. Actually, no, they were for a very long, 4 or 5 months. During which time I recall
they didn't defend it.
One defence in which they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then to top it off, it's like, I was like, really? As soon as Liv Morgan got in the ring, Liv and Ruby Riott show how good they are. You got Liv Morgan, who was hitting enziguras from out of nowhere. It's like boom, boom, boom. They looked the bee's knees, and the match finally ended after 9 minutes. And this was on the pre-show.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, this is pre-show.
What? You were thinking this is too good for the pre-show, or?
No.
Or you were thinking, if this is the standard of the main show, I may not watch to the end. I'm not sure where you're getting at.
I don't even think it should have been on Raw. Seeing as most of the feud was supposed to be meant to be on Raw, even they didn't even actually highlight it on Raw.
Well,
so in actual fact, we didn't even have an actual explanation of why. Why have the Iconics been making Liv Morgan's life a living hell?
Because they are evil human beings.
What? Because they are iconic, as they keep saying.
No, because they have voices that sound like nails being dragged down a blackboard. And come on, they're Australian. That makes them evil. Just ask, don't call me Buddy Murphy. And Shane Thorne. But whisper it. Don't tell the big dude on NXT who had the Bam Bam Bigelow tribute at the last show. He's supposed to be a bad guy too because he's Australian, but no, he obviously didn't get the memo.
He had it. But anyway,
Sorry?
He had it. Well, anyway, point being is, I don't say.
I shouldn't. I'm biting my tongue not to say what went through my mind then.
Just stop, because next you'll be saying Will Ospreay's a villain. Anyway, moving on.
It was a reference to the guy on NXT who I'm having name dysprasia again. I can't think of his name.
Bronson
NXT's resident stupid boy.
Stupid boy?
Yes.
Which one?
Bronson Reed.
Stupid boy?
Yes. Where I come from and when I grew up, thick means not very clever, as in stupid. Therefore, stupid boy. It's all I can think of every time someone says that. Kind of undermines the gimmick for me, just a little bit.
No, it doesn't, because it's spelled differently. It's spelled T-H-I-C-C,
Yes,
not
that's
T-H-I-C-K.
a little bit like me repeatedly saying to someone, language warning, just ahead of time here, if you're of a sensitive disposition, you might want to tune out for the next 10 minutes. That's a little bit like me saying to someone, you're a massive cunt, and then going up to them afterwards and saying, what? I spell it with a Q, so it's a term of endearment. It's nonsense. He's literally calling himself stupid to the entire world, and I don't like it.
It might even be his dumb idea. It could be Vinci saying you're a thick boy.
You stupid boy. Captain Mannering from Dad's Army. That's all I can hear in my head every time someone says that. So he's ruined for me. Whether it's his idea or not, his whole gimmick is done. I can't take it seriously.
Oh, God.
Wow, that was a massive soapbox about Australian wrestlers just because we were talking about the Iconics. Talk about a digression. Right, shall we move on to talk about the second match? And the actual card, yes.
Yes.
The singles match for the United States Championship.
Which ended up having...
championship design. Don't like it. Not getting any more used to it with time. Sorry.
I don't care if you don't like it. However, I think Kevin Dunn has the same sympathy as you.
Why?
Why?
Have they replaced it again?
No, because for some unknown reason. You know how long they've had the United States Championship, the new one, in the actual design. They haven't actually updated the graphic.
No, I don't blame you, because the new title is despicable.
No, but they've actually had the designs for 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, and they haven't updated the on-screen graphic, which still shows the good old red, white, and blue one that there's nothing wrong with.
The old one, yes. But anyway, we digress. Bobby Lashley defeated Apollo Crews.
With, I'm assuming, plenty of help from MVP and Shelton Benjamin.
Not as much as you think, but still...
Well, still enough. You know, making the numbers advantage count like good heels do.
It was a good match.
I can believe that, because MVP and Shelton Benjamin are top-notch competitors.
Highly...
And Bobby Lashley is when he can be bothered.
No, this was a great match. One that I would highly recommend you to watch. Highly recommend.
Are we talking borderline match of the night, or is it not quite that good?
I wouldn't say it'd go that far yet, but still a very, very entertaining match. Absolutely fun to watch, and one that I could get behind on.
That's cool. That's cool. So, new champion Bobby Lashley.
Correct, but the match itself was absolutely phenomenal. Just what they did after.
That's cool. What they did after was not so good? Are you saying?
Pretty much.
What did the all-space mighty do that let him down?
It wasn't him either.
Oh dear.
It was the production. I'm going to put it down to fucking done, you twat.
Oh dear. Bad camera angle that showed exactly the wrong thing.
Right. You've now gone with the picture, and as you're going to impose, you've got Lashley in the ring, MVP with him, and Shelton Benjamin. And then putting the implication that they are taking pictures of them in the ring and using the footage like the camera, like just going, and then graphically looking like that. Oh, that's an image. There's the second one. Yeah, you look like a superstar. And while they're doing that, to have Apollo just get up and pretty much dive on Lashley, start beating the fuck out of him. And I'm like, you've just tapped out to his fucking finisher. What the fuck?
Yeah, that makes not a great deal of sense.
Don't make sense.
Hashtag WWE logic. Anyway, moving on.
Doesn't make sense. But anyway, the point being is, I am watching this going, geez Louise, he's just taking his new finisher, which oh my god, the name of it just... The commentators were doing their best to put it across, but you could hear certain people on the commentary going, don't laugh.
Lashley has a new finisher with an embarrassing name.
The new finisher...
Yes.
Is the full Nelson.
The full Nelson. Okay. So far, so sensible. Can't really mess that up. Can make it look quite brutal if you're built like Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Taking a deep breath. I'm already sat down. What have they called it?
The full Lashley. Yeah.
Isn't that something that will probably be appearing on Pornhub soon, featuring Lana? Or am I getting the wrong end of the stick here?
Wrong end of the stick.
Especially bearing in mind, Lana is happily married to the artist formerly known as Rusev, and we should leave that there for legal reasons. Okay.
Yeah. So as you can imagine, it's like the full Lashley. I was like, really?
Yeah.
And what didn't exactly help is, on the actual pre-show, you've got R2 saying, Apollo Crews, you better watch your behind, your front, your side, and your office. Basically, that's what makes it even worse. You got R2 who's possibly implying that Lashley's going to try humping for the championship. And then you got the commentary team coming out with, it's called the full Lashley.
There was me thinking they were going to come up with a pun on simply the fact that he has the word lash in his name and something to do with whips or something. And it turns out the truth is actually worse than that. Jeez. Right.
The full
As I think
lashing.
It's become a running gag with this rundown of the results. Moving on.
Yeah, the full lashing would have sounded better.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just thinking they could have called it, I don't know, the tongue lashing. No, that's more of a Velveteen Dream kind of move. Anyway,
It
moving
was
swiftly
just.
on.
It's just as I'm looking at it, just hearing it called. It's just no. Move on. Let's move on.
Yeah. Which
Big
we need
E,
to do. We need to move on to the singles match.
Big E
Which,
defeating Sheamus.
the battle of I had a tag team partner, but I hate him, versus I had 2 tag team partners, but they're both injured. Hell, let's have a singles match.
Actually, it was not too bad of a match because you've got Sheamus, who's been
fairly sure it's not, because they're both perfectly capable
Yep.
workers.
And on top of that, what was interesting with this, you got Sheamus, who was pretty much making Big E look good, turning around saying, you ain't nothing but a tag team partner where I've been able to win the championship on my own. Big E turned around saying, whoa, are you forgetting I was the NXT champion as well? It's
yeah.
And it's like, and James is giving the implication, it's like, oh, does that count? Sort of.
Which is a good build-up, and then Big E beating him is his statement of saying, yep, I do count. I am a contender.
But they are building up Big E's reputation and building him up in a massive way. I can see they're building him up for the main roster. By the way, in the previous match, we both actually went for Apollo Crews to win, didn't we?
We did, which was a bit rubbish.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on to the next match, which was the Big E one.
Big E
we both went
Sheamus.
for Big E.
We both went for Big E, I think. So
yeah, we saw that one coming.
2-1 at the minute.
Is it 2-1?
Well, we both went for the Riot Squad, did we not?
Yes, we did.
So
we
both went for Big E, so that's 2-1 so far. As we move on to another singles match.
Oh dear.
Matt Riddle
defeating
Baron Boring.
King Corbin.
Yes. Is it just me, or has Corbin literally got nothing left to offer? His character's stale. He doesn't know how to extend it or expand it or make it better. I don't think management care. He's just stuck in a rut.
Pretty much.
And
the match itself was good. It was okay. It helped to push Matt Riddle over, make him look good, made him look like a badass. Because at one point it looks like King Corbin got out of a move, but then Matt Riddle pop up. Nope, I still in the chokehold. It's still mine.
Achieved the aim then, if it's getting Matt Riddle over, which is fine, but
it did make Matt Riddle look like a legitimate badass, as if to say.
Well, because Corbin's not quite twice his size, but quite a fair bit bigger. So yeah, I can
still see where they're coming from. It still looked good. However, I suspected that King Corbin would have been getting the win until the end of the feud. Looks like we're at the end of the feud already, so I expected it a bit later, which is why I went for King Corbin and you went for Matt Riddle. So. Oh,
it's 3. I am 3-2 correct predictions up,
and I'm. Is it 3-2? No. Yeah,
I got
it is
3 right. You've
3-4.
Right. Yeah,
3. Yeah, 3-2. Yeah.
Yeah, 3-2, and almost immediately we move on to the next match, and it falls back to 3 apiece.
Which is it was Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax defeating Bayley and Sasha Banks for in a tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match.
So Baszler and the 2 people that hate each other won.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So it's like Matt Hardy and MVP being tag team champions all over again.
A little bit, but not quite.
Are they going to learn to tolerate each other, or do we think that it's literally just going to be the case of
no, they do in the match
at the next show, and they're going to argue until Shayna destroys Nia Jax, and then Bayley and Sasha win the titles back?
I don't think that's going to be the case.
Oh, do you think it's going to be they're finally going to pull the trigger on
Yes.
Bayley and Sasha having their meltdown?
Yes!
Not that it's not like 18 months overdue or anything.
The look on Sasha Banks' face at Bayley.
Well, was Bayley the one that submitted?
I think it was. And the looks of it. And all I was to say to you is the look on Sasha Banks' face at Bayley was, bitch, I'm going to kill you.
if there's one
No.
thing, even when she's been relegated to the sidelines and essentially relegated to not a great deal more than Bayley's valet, if there's one thing they're allowing Sasha Banks to do that she's still killer at, it's facial expressions.
Oh no, their facial expression was just, you just saw a look at it and you see Bayley like,
yeah, no, she's good.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
crap.
They're not letting her do much, but she's getting her work in where she can. And when they let her loose fully on against Bayley and let her actually be Sasha Banks again, it's going to be fire.
It's going to be fire. Genuinely, the way Sasha looked at Bayley at the end of the match was just, I'm going to
if looks could kill.
Break. Oh no, this isn't just kill. This is first degree murder, body bag.
If looks could kill, not only would I have killed you, but I'd then have reanimated you, killed you again, repeat 7 times, and then finally, literally,
burnt the body
into small worm-sized pieces.
Pretty much.
Nice.
Pretty much. Because the scary thing about it was just a look as if to say, you couldn't help me defend my title at SummerSlam. You've
lost me my other championship.
I've now got nothing, and you've got yours. You've still got yours.
Which is hopefully going to lead to
a
long-ish, by modern standards, build-up to Bayley versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Survivor Series.
But just the look alone was just, wow.
Epic.
Yes.
And then...
But the match itself, I at first didn't think you would actually believe Shayna Baszler as a face would be possible, or Nia Jax. They actually did it in this match. Really well.
They did Nia Jax as a face before, and it was perfectly believable.
Was Shayna Baszler?
It was believable until you had her smiling while she was smashing up heels half her size. That was where the suspension of disbelief failed. But they tried, and it so nearly worked. But so with that in mind, if they can do that, Shayna Baszler's not too much of a...
Oh, no. Shayna came across as proper likeable.
Wonders never cease.
Proper likeable. And I mean...
like how every time anyone in WWE does an out-of-character interview with Adam Cole, and you sit there thinking... How do I hate this bastard on TV so much every week? He couldn't... How does he be so nasty on television? Because I'm seeing him sat there in his normal everyday persona, and...
He's a nice dude.
He's the most irritatingly likeable person in the universe.
Yeah, sort of.
Is it kind of like that?
Sort of, yeah. WWE have actually hit on something here. I know.
Wow. Well, good. Because I know there wasn't a lot to praise about this show.
No,
if we have a couple of positive things here.
No.
Like they're building up Biggie and Matt Riddle as genuine stars.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler as a face has a future. No, this is good.
Nia Jax, even when she won the belt, crying, even crying to her own family, saying, I've become champion.
Nice.
Which added a bit more to it with the interview after. It was just nice little touch.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, and before we got to Keith Lee, someone made a visit.
Bask in his glory. Sorry, carry on.
Somebody made a visit to him.
To Keith Lee?
Yeah.
Pre-match?
Beforehand, yeah. As he was getting ready.
Him.
Yeah.
Was it by any chance a certain person with considerable amounts of Croatian heritage?
No.
Oh. His worst enemy turned NXT best friend, Dominik Dijakovic?
No.
Ooh, interesting.
It was one of the SmackDown's longest reigning heavyweight champions on it.
The longest reigning champion in SmackDown TV history.
One of, yeah.
What? Oh, not the man who advertises himself as that.
The man who describes himself as a wrestling god.
The very same.
Yes.
The man who is me with an extra syllable. JBL.
Yeah. JBL made an appearance, literally giving him a bit of a hedge fund tip, saying if he wants to get in for £1 million, and you saw Keith go, yeah,
Nice.
cheers for that, but I ain't got the cash.
Thanks, Mr. JBL, but you're a despicable scumbag heel,
No.
and I'm a good guy, so thanks, but no thanks.
No, but JBL was giving him praise.
No, of course.
He literally just said to him, it's not for now. Do it when you can, but you already got a bright future ahead of you.
Yeah, which he definitely does.
And it's just sort of, you just look at it, it's like, ooh, are they teasing a Keith Lee heel turn?
That could be Shayna Baszler face turn levels of interesting, but I would sound the note of caution that perhaps it's too soon. Perhaps just teasing it might be okay for now.
Teasing is what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then Keith Lee came out to face Randy Orton, and Orton, where will you learn?
Never, apparently.
All I'll say to you is, if he does the mistake he did what he did on Keith Lee against another NXT UK superstar, he won't be doing it again, ever.
Because he'll be dropped on his head and killed?
Oh, no. He decided to do something with Keith Lee and did the creed, do you know who I am? I'm Randy Orton. Show me some damn respect, and chopped him.
Yes. That would be the cue for a certain NXT UK champion
to
literally stop him breathing.
Right. And I'll give Orton his due. He gave Keith Lee a good chop.
But did he take one back?
He took the double arm.
Ooh.
The double-handed. And when he landed, he's like, yeah, he felt that.
Yeah, but no, again, this show is taking another a turn in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because for the second consecutive week, oh God, no, Randy Orton's going to bloody win, isn't he? Didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
No, because
it was interesting.
His glory, for he is limitless.
Yeah, one.
Is he now also a legend killer?
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Anyway, let's dwell on that no further and move on. I think I'm just trying to work it out now. 1,
2 more.
2, 3. I got 4 right so far out of 6.
And I got 4.
Also on 4.
Yeah, because I went Keith Lee.
Yeah. Oh, right. So it's an absolute tie. Right, fair enough. I got a feeling I'm going to go back ahead again on the next match.
Are you sure?
Because I predicted Team 619.
Yes, you did.
And they defeated Team Monday Night Messiah in a tag team match.
Yes.
Cedric Rollins and Don't Call Me Buddy Murphy.
Well, he certainly ain't Rollins' buddy anymore.
No?
No.
Oh, did Rollins hang him out to dry?
No, Murphy lost the match.
Oh, right.
By getting pinned.
So Rollins is angry with him, not the other way around.
Rollins was angry with Murphy for being pinned by Dominic.
So WWE are also pushing another new star.
And this was my match of the night.
Really? Well, I know that of the last 3 WWE shows that I have watched 2 of and seen the highlights clip of this one, hence how I'm able to talk about it.
Yeah.
So far, the wrestlers of all 3 shows are people who have had 3 matches in their entire career.
Yeah.
Namely, they really need to give him a new name because Dominic Mysterio is stupid. I'm sorry, I don't care if it's accurate.
No. This match was brilliant.
Yeah, but he had a really commendable performance last week. This was match of the night. So 2 matches into his career, he's already right up there. And, of course, we all know that performance of the night at TakeOver.
Yeah.
Well, he punted it straight over the goalposts. What can I tell you?
Pretty much. And he was showing how good he was with his dad and showing that he knows how to wrestle. He's got the moves and everything. Hitting. At one point, I thought he brained Murphy.
Nice.
No, legitimately with like a modified satellite. I just put him out. Boom, I'm like, did it turn at the canvas?
Wow. No, this is really good.
Let's just say this. The way Murphy landed, I was concussed.
Wow. That's impressive.
It made me feel it.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Did Ray do the whole match with one eye, or is it magically fine now?
One eye.
Wow, that makes his performance even more stellar.
Yeah, one eye.
Did he have a black patch over the other one?
Yep.
Yep.
They're still carrying it on. But legitimately, amazing match. Highly recommend this one. Definitely check it out.
So we've gone, bit of an average pre-show, average starter, up and up and up and up and up. And something tells me the main event isn't going to live up to that. Was that a deep sigh, meaning somebody get the soapbox?
Please do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the soapbox. And stood upon it, Mr. Matt Burns, to give his forthright opinion upon the no-holds-barred triple threat match for the WWE Universal Championship, pitting Braun Strowman, the champion, the Fiend Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns against each other in, well, I would hope, this being a WWE show and everything, a wrestling match. But, you know, when Bray Wyatt's involved, nothing's certain, is it?
Right.
Where do I begin?
Where do I begin? Do I go for the match itself, or do I even go up to the whole fact of what they were fucking advertising from the start? How much of a fuck up that was?
Hang on, they were advertising a triple threat match for the Universal Championship.
Yes, they were.
Okay.
A no holds barred
match.
Triple threat match.
Yes.
Why do they need to call it a no holds barred?
Good point. No reference has been made in the months of build-up we've had since the last pay-per-view.
Yeah. Why is it called a no holds barred match? It's a triple threat. There is no fucking rules.
The whole point of a triple threat match is there are no disqualifications or countouts.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really need to be no holds barred because that's kind of the same thing.
I know why now.
Why?
Because how they fucking butchered the entire match.
Is it called a no holds barred match because that's easier to say than allow Roman Reigns to go batshit match?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's to allow to allow Roman Reigns have an easy night.
Oh. How can they possibly do that? He's fighting the monster of monsters and what did he call him at the end of SummerSlam? Was it the freak in a mask?
Yeah.
Not the best bit of audible.
You're nothing but a freak with a clown mask.
Yeah, not the best bit of audio to catch and broadcast at the end of a live pay-per-view, but oh well. Anyway,
at least it wasn't Michael Cole saying, "I bet you didn't see that coming." Again.
for the 27th time that minute.
Fuck's sake, Michael Cole, fuck off with that. But anyway, point being is,
how did Roman Reigns possibly manage to have an easy night against those two?
Because Roman Reigns didn't sign for the match.
So it wasn't a triple threat match. What?
It ended up starting as a singles match. So the original scheduled program advertised triple threat match started as a one-on-one no holds barred match.
What? Did nobody think to check that Roman had signed a bit of paper?
Wait for it. What was the match last week?
What, the WWE Universal Championship match?
Yep.
I do believe that was a... No, you'll have to help me out. My memory's gone blank.
Your memory's gone blank.
Was it a no-holds-barred match, or is that too easy?
You ready?
Yep.
Falls count anywhere.
Oh, of course it was, yeah. I don't remember them doing a whole great deal of leaving the ring.
They did, briefly. They went into the back.
Oh, yeah, ever so slightly, but only in a sort of...
Yeah.
You know, brief, hardcore championship era. Look, this is the back of the arena.
Well, this is the
ring now. It's kind of moment.
This is the thingy, gorilla position. That was it. And then back to the ring. But anyway, point being is, you're like, right, okay. So it's now a singles match. So how the hell did they screw that the fuck up? Right.
Good question. Apart from perhaps because we don't need another Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman match anytime soon, so it might have been a bit repetitive. No, go on. How did they screw it up?
They did that. They had it as one-on-one. Instead of thinking, well, why the hell wouldn't Roman want to be in this match? It's for the goddamn championship. Why is he not here? Why is he not here? Both of them kick the crap out of each other. Back and forth, back and forth. Big superplex from the top rope from bloody Bray Wyatt, the Fiend Bray Wyatt to Braun Strowman. Oh my God, the ring is absolutely destroyed.
Oh, the Bray show destroyed the ring.
Wait. Instead of think, what's going to happen? Who's going to pin who? Remember,
you mean all this whole new character and the fact he's finally not wearing the Shield gear anymore, and they can't even give him new music?
His music hits.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The same music he's always had.
Yeah.
Which before him was the music of the Shield.
Yeah.
Okay, like I'm saying, they couldn't even be bothered to highlight how much they're pushing him and how much they're finally letting his character change by giving him new music?
Nope.
Well, that's cack before it's even started. But hang on. He didn't sign for this match. He's not involved in it. What's he doing there?
He has the contract in hand with Paul Heyman, and he signs it there and then.
Bit late, mate. Your match has already started. In fact, there's no ring left to fight in. I'm not sure what you're aiming to achieve here.
And what makes it even worse?
What?
He wrestled in a t-shirt.
Was it his Arrive, Raise Hell, Leave rip-off t-shirt?
Yep.
Oh dear. I actually have fundamentally no objection to anyone wrestling in whatever clothes they so wish, up to and including t-shirts.
Yeah.
I would just like to point that out here. However, you appear to have an issue with it.
I don't.
Okay.
He walked down. I'm a badass. I'm going to take these down. After 10 minutes of them kicking the crap out of each other.
I'm here to pick the bones of these people who are both absolutely knackered because they've both pasted each other for 10 minutes solid.
Yes. And I'm thinking, so that's a really heelish thing. That's really good. Let him come down. Hit a finisher. And pin. What a great... Wait, where have we seen this before?
Hello, Roman Lesnar. How are you today?
Oh, fuck.
Just what we needed. More part-time champions.
I don't think that's going to be the case, though, at least. I think Roman's going to actually be there. But the tactic is too close. It's too soon. Too soon.
Yes.
But anyway, point being is, he walks down and you think, here we go. We know why Strowman now is in the match. Because he's going to be taking the pinfall. No.
Yeah.
Roman decides to spear the Fiend. They're not going to bury the Fiend right now. 1, 2, kick out. What the fuck?
Okay, they're not going to bury the Fiend. However, how inept does that now make Roman Reigns look?
He looks like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Go out, grab a chair.
Right.
I'm about to use this chair on him. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to savagely. And then the Fiend gets up and puts the mandible claw on him. Oh my God. Roman's in trouble here. How can he escape this? He's got an unstoppable monster in the Fiend, who Braun has been hitting with everything he can to destroy him. The spear didn't even work. Getting put to the table didn't work. Doing
And
the
now
suplex
he
off the
should be
top
out
rope.
cold because he's getting mandible clawed into the middle of next week.
Wait, no. I'm saying this is Thingy, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
He's been absolutely savagely beaten, and he's now still able to put the mandible claw on Roman. Oh my God! What is going to stop this beast from getting involved in this match? Oh my God! A dick kick.
I'm sorry, what? Record
A
scratch.
dick. Yes, a fucking dick kick.
A
Right.
swift toe in the testicles.
Right. But then the Fiend fall out. It's like, what the fuck?
All of a sudden, the creature that's impervious to pain
It's
suddenly
now in
remembers that it
pain.
has an Achilles ball back.
What the fuck?
That makes WWE amounts of sense. Namely, sort of
Chair shots, toolboxes,
below
being
none.
on fire, electrical equipment, destruction everywhere.
Don't touch my balls.
What the fuck?
That's just, oh dear me. That is quite possibly Vince McMahon booking in a nutshell.
And what makes it worse is you sit there and you think, well, it's really, it's like, that would stop anybody. Yes, it would. There's a slight problem I have, because that's not the only issue I have with the dick kick situation. Because let's get on to this other situation. Why is it that Vince McMahon has to reassert that if you're a villain, you have to dick kick somebody?
Oh,
For
yeah,
Christ's
it's
sake.
your standard heel move, isn't it?
Standard heel move. Wait, in case if anyone wants to know what I'm referring to, are you ready for this? Let's go down this road, shall we?
Let's do it.
How did Shinsuke Nakamura turn heel? It wasn't a kick, but where was the hit?
I'll give you a clue. Not in the face.
Not in the face. It was a low blow, straight between the legs.
South of the border, ladies and gentlemen.
So basically, AJ Styles had to go through a feud involving low blows.
Yeah.
What
All
the
fun.
fuck? Then,
Anyway.
Oh, wait,
now
wait,
they've
wait,
got
wait.
Roman Reigns utilising
Wait.
hashtag heel
Oh, no.
101.
Haven't finished it yet, because he wasn't the only one to do it.
Really?
No, you ready for the next one?
Go
Daniel
on.
Bryan became WWE champion, or Universal champion, with his Hem championship. How? How did he beat AJ Styles? What
I'll
with?
give you a clue. It wasn't the yes lock.
What
No
was it?
lock, label lock, whatever he was calling it that week.
It was the dick kick followed by the knee. Really? Why is it that if you're one of them in the main event scene and you need to be portrayed as a villain, it's got to somehow insert, WWE, oh my God, we need to confirm he's a heel, insert dick kick. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it is A, repetitive, B, achieves nothing, and C, oh my God, what? This again?
Yes, we know a dick kick hurts. Yes, we know, but for God's sake, what a great way to undersell bloody Bray Wyatt. Simple way of getting him out would have been knock arm out the way, spear again, done.
Yes. But no.
Or spear, savagely beat with chair. Not, let's just do dick kick.
So after all of that, did he pin him after he punted him in the bollocks? Is that
No, 'cause
all
he-
it was?
Because he fell out the ring.
Oh. So that wasn't the end of the match.
No.
even the certified fiend killer didn't end the match.
No, he waited for Braun Strowman to get back up to get speared and then pinned.
Wow. Way to bury both the guys in the match that aren't aligned with Paul Heyman.
So both of them have been killing each other. Fine. That's believable.
Yes, one man comes in and assaults both of them and leaves them both laying. Not believable.
No, I was fine with it. Then savagely, before you speed him, though, he did savagely beat him with a chair. A bit like what he could have done on the fucking Fiend!
Yeah.
Not insert dick kick.
And all of a sudden, yeah, it's just a little bit different. Oh, dear me. I don't know what to think. I really don't.
And
so what you're basically saying is quite a good show overall, just lame beginning and lame ending.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah. And yes, I know I could turn around and say, aren't you going to make a joke about Roman Reigns' teeth? No, I'm not, because that's too easy. And last time I checked, I'm not one to talk, especially of people who know me.
No, you should have had the trouble he had talking for about 6 months. It wasn't easy.
Damn right. But anyway, the point, my point being is picking on his teeth. Listen.
It's a Vince McMahon kick him in the balls thing to do. It's basic, it's easy, it's predictable. It's just be better.
Be better. Because you got even Randy Orton who took a pot shot at him, and pretty much Roman Reigns pretty much buried Randy Orton because he was having none of it.
Good.
On Twitter.
Anyone else think Randy Orton is going to be out the door fairly soon?
No, I don't. Because I'll be honest with you, I am actually finding his Twitter stuff quite entertaining.
Yeah, but do you not think he's laying the pathway for leaving, e.g. laying down to everyone they want him to get over before he goes?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But anyway.
I'd say he's going to follow The Rock, but I genuinely don't think...
No, don't think so.
I don't know, no slight on Randy Orton, but I don't think he has the personality to do film.
He has been in films.
Yeah, where he basically plays Randy Orton.
No, he was in 12 Rounds 2.
Yeah, well, forgive me if I'm wrong, but as far as I could tell, he basically played Randy Orton.
Not really. I think at one point, I think it was something to go about going to the papers or something or other. I think that's where most people kept saying, where the old additive of Randy Orton kept saying lying. Because he couldn't get his cues right.
Yeah.
But anyway, we digress.
Anyway, yeah. Lame end to what was building up towards being a stellar show.
I'm going to say the show overall was a 7 out of 10.
Would have been possibly an 8 or higher, but for the main event.
It was due to the opening. I give a bit of a leeway because it's a pre-show match. No one can really care as much. They've not really put much effort into it, whereas the main event should have been... I got the idea what they're doing with Roman. It just seemed as though if you want somebody to be a majorly heat, do a Brock Lesnar-esque thing and then dick kick.
Yeah.
It just felt cheap.
Fair enough.
It just felt cheap.
That's fair enough. That's an understandable conclusion.
Yeah. Anyway.
Can I just say... I will just say this, and we will leave it there and immediately move on afterwards. But we've done a whole show covering SummerSlam. We've got a week. We've done a whole show covering Payback.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe nobody's mentioned Mandy Rose's outfit yet.
What are you on about?
Really?
What are you on about?
You did not notice Mandy Rose's outfit?
No.
For SummerSlam?
Nope.
Oh, okay then. Let's move on.
I have no idea what you're on about.
In which case, let's move on.
Yes.
He says.
Let's move on, shall we?
You're boring.
Anyway.
You just don't want to get sued. What's wrong with you? Let's move on.
I like to play it safe. Anyway, moving on. Let's get on to...
Anyway, the only thing I was going to say was, Mandy Rose, seriously, white and gold, do they really go together?
Yes.
Do they?
Yes.
If you say so.
But
Whatever.
I'm not a fashion model.
Well, nor is she. She's a professional wrestler. But yes, okay, I get your point. I just didn't think that
She has
it
done
showed
modelling.
much colour coordination or attention to detail. But anyway, let's move on. Because overall,
Oh, dear.
7 out of 10 is a fair score for Payback. But now, is it time for the epic fail moment? Sorry to give it away, but it is an epic fail moment this week.
Oh, it is. It is. And it's a recent
I may
one.
have mentioned it earlier
Oh, good
without
lord.
realising that was the subject.
It was going to be. You didn't know. The point being is, yes, the Thunderdome.
Hashtag Blunderdome.
What could go wrong?
Apart from everything.
Let's just say...
Literally, you know how I mocked it before I'd seen what it was?
Yeah.
And said, oh, what's it going to be? Like a 1990s carry handle 14-inch portable television set on every seat in the arena with a different face on it.
Yeah.
It basically was the 21st century flat screen equivalent of that.
Oh, it gets worse than that with the blunder.
No. As if the whole idea wasn't like 20th century enough. The execution was terrible. Half the time the sound that they were pumping in was totally different to the pictures. And like you could see them like cheering when someone on the screen either had the hand over their mouth or was clearly booing.
You mean wait. You mean the supposed cheering or the voices, the noises that you've got from it?
That weren't in any way related to the images and was blatantly obvious.
Has anybody ever played WWE 2K18?
Were they the noises from WWE 2K18?
It might be the same noises.
The crowd noises.
Somebody might have pointed out the crowd noises from the crowd are actually from WWE 2K18, possibly.
Well, we all know why they're not 2K19 or is 2K20 out? I don't know, because they're both broken games.
No, 19 is okay, 20 was the broken one.
All right.
20 is we'll not discuss it.
But did people think that, it's 3 versions of the game ago, so people will have forgotten? Is that their excuse?
I think that's their excuse. Oh, 2 games. 2 games, because the new one comes out soon.
Oh, I thought they weren't doing the 21 because they were rebuilding the whole thing from the ground up.
They're not doing the 21, but they're doing the Battleground game, so they are releasing the game at least.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Anyway,
yeah.
It gets worse, because that's not even the epic fail.
Criticism weren't justified enough. You also have a reason why it sucks.
Oh, no, that's not even the epic fail moment I wanted to cover. Oops.
Did somebody manage to evade WWE security protocols and front and centre of the Blunderdome appear on a WWE pay-per-view in eeny, meeny, miny, an AEW t-shirt?
That was one of them.
Really?
Actually, but not an actual AEW t-shirt. Actually had a screen let you go, hey, wave, and all of a sudden go, check this out. Almost the look with his hands, and then puts on WWE sucks, check out AEW.
Yeah, and then that screen went very blank very quickly.
And I don't think people picked up until day after. Oops.
Oopsie.
That wasn't even the worst offender. Yes.
Was there some not picked up by the WWE censors gratuitous foul language and or nudity?
No, there wasn't. The next one is still a bad one though, especially during these times.
Well, it wasn't the worst thing in the world then, but go on, what was it?
The second footage that has actually got pretty much brought up and pretty much got certain people in regards to it instantly banned, effectively immediately, by having a video footage of the KKK.
Really?
Yeah.
That strikes me as somewhat silly.
Yeah. And that's not even the worst one. That's not even the one that I'm surprised hasn't affected Boseman the most.
Was there someone wearing a T-shirt that says Trump sucks? Bearing in mind that, Vince and Donald are best friends.
No.
Because that will have hurt his feelings the most, quite clearly.
No, this one probably would have enraged him if he figured it out straight away. And might not have seen it on Botchamania. Because, yes, I didn't know about this one until I saw it on Botchamania. You're welcome, Matthew. And this is a big one. Someone changed their live stream of their camera to a picture of a person with a wooden background smiling with a missing tooth.
Oh dear.
You see where I'm going with this, can't you?
How can I mention them without mentioning them? Do you mean the winner of the 2004 Royal Rumble?
Yes!
Yes.
And do you want me to mention it?
Well, we know from that, I think we can work out who it's supposed to be.
I'm still going to mention it because they put a picture up of Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Smiling. It's like, am I actually seeing this?
Yeah.
What has gone on? How has this happened?
Not to mention that it is actually just a little bit like a sort of 21st century technological marvel version of Guess Who, because apparently many people's faces were repeated 8 or 10 times across the screen.
Yeah. So, as you can imagine, seeing that, it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, oops. But anyway.
Yeah. Oh, not to mention, every time the recorded crowd cheering was crap. So every time someone's entrance came in, all the faces disappeared because they had to do the pyro in relation to the entrance, and then half the time it took them as much as half of the match to come back.
Or if Bray Wyatt enters, just cut off some of the screens.
Yeah, and they didn't immediately come back as well. I would honestly say that the Thunderdome is an epic fail.
I don't. I think it's an epic win.
Why? After everything we've said about the fact that it is an epic fail, because that's what segment of this week's show it's in, how can you possibly redeem it? This I am intrigued by.
Right. It's an epic fail moment by having them moments happen, yes. But it's an epic win because of the grandeur of the stage. It still looks great. And it does actually still put it's a bit more lively than going plastic screens around.
It
still looks a bit more lively, even if you've got people waving and, "Hi, Mum, I'm on TV."
Honestly, I would much rather they just had the ice hockey plexiglass with the NXT roster behind it, because at least they're real people reacting in real time.
True, but
the audio and the visual match,
True, but at the same time, at least with this, they're actually basically being more cautious with the whole COVID-19 and being more self-aware.
Really? Because everyone in the NXT roster were largely 2 meters apart.
Yes, they were, but that's not the main roster.
Anyway, I think it's a fail, but you don't, so fair enough.
I don't.
Each their own.
I don't. I just think it just had some epic fail moments with that. But
I think the whole thing is an epic fail, but time will tell.
Time will tell. Right. Have we got any pay-per-views next week?
No, it's not next week, but Taboo Tuesday is scheduled for tomorrow.
What?
I jest. I jest, but I just thought I'd see the fact that they had 2 in as many weeks. That was going to be something that you might just believe for a second, and you actually did. Thanks, GPW Kev, for that joke. It is greatly appreciated because he actually bought it for a second. Nice one.
Come on, come on, give me some plausible doubt.
Yeah, you did. You were like, "What? You're serious, aren't you?" No, you're not. Damn it.
Damn it. At least we haven't got a pay-per-view for a while. The next one, I believe,
Tuesday is tomorrow night with interactive elements. Namely, Keith Lee is fighting a broom handle. What colour should his gear be? Sky blue, black, blue and white pinstripes, or yellow? You can vote now.
Or a black top with different coloured buttons.
Yes.
Anyway, the next pay-per-view is
not what's happening. The next pay-per-view is in a while, I think.
September 27th, 2020, which is the Clash of Champions.
Which is nearly a month away. So,
yes.
Yeah, we might actually get a sensible amount of build-up for that one.
Build up, build up, build up, build up.
Yeah, and by the time it arrives on television, we might actually get reason to care about the matches. Shock, horror.
I know.
Wonders never cease.
Anyway, that's it for this week. I'm going to say for the news. For this week, I'm just going to state the plugs. And as for next week's topic, I'm just going to say we're going to be winging it for next week. Well, for this Sunday, because yes, it is as such for the next episode. But anyway, let's just go through the plugs, which is we recommend you all to check out UKWA. Check out photographers like Tony Knox, Jessica Servo Photography, Kerry Swift Photography, and for videography needs, BA Production and SW Video. For charitable organisations, check out Changes for Health and Wellbeing, Changes Recovery Radio, Mind, Message for Mind, Dun Louise Hospice Care for Children and Young People, and Cancer Research UK. The information that they do provide is absolutely useful and could prove vital. You never know. We, of course, also recommend you check out the lighter side of professional wrestling by checking out Botchamania. I know, twice in one episode. You're welcome, Matthew.
Yeah,
and of course,
made payable to the Burning Truth, Matthew. If you ever feel like sharing wealth,
and of course, also check out Wrestle Crap.
Nice one, R.D. Reynolds.
And of course,
good work.
And of course, OSW Review. You're welcome, lads. And of course, we also recommend you check out some fellow colleagues, broadcast and podcast, be it either Pull or Pass radio show, hosted by none other than Magic Mark Adams, who also got Don't Say the C Word, and others. We also recommend you check out We the Independent, that's with an IE and not a Y, of course, being run by Sugar Dunkerton and many others. And we, of course, also recommend you check out Think Wrestling, especially the Talk Wrestling interviews, especially with Tom Baker, and we're not on about the former Doctor.
No.
And, of course, we also recommend you check out Train Pop Culture. Absolutely recommend it. And, of course, Hatred Theory. And, of course, we also recommend you check out Kayfabe Music, that do absolutely amazing music. And I believe they've also been hitting across international waters with some of the music that they've actually been doing for them as well. And highly recommend them at all. We, of course, also recommend you check out Turnbuckle TV / Powered 4 TV as they are building up even bigger. Do you know how big Powered 4 TV is getting now?
One of the latest signings to the already huge addition of over 40 promotions they have is none other than One Pro Wrestling.
Correct. And of course, we also recommend you check, and how much is it for?
Well, currently it remains at $3.99, less than £1 a week by a small fraction.
However, that price could change dramatically. If it does, we will most likely change it and make you aware of it.
But anyway, let's be honest, if it goes up to anywhere within the region of the price of the WWE Network, it's still going to be a bargain. But either way, we also recommend you check out local wrestling promotions like Future Championship Wrestling, United Wrestling, Pro Wrestling for You, Future Shock Wrestling, Academy Pro Wrestling, Fallen Star Wrestling, Venom Wrestling Federation, Slam Wrestling, Wolf and Pro Wrestling, and many others. In case I've missed any, I apologise, but if I have missed any, don't worry, there is an app that will make sure that any of the ones I have missed, they will advertise them for you by checking out Babyface Wrestling app, which is absolutely free, where you can actually do a search for any local wrestling promotions you want to
help support, and of course you can also follow your wrestling promotions and also wrestlers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the point where I interject and say he wouldn't possibly self-promote, but Matt Burns is one of the wrestlers you can follow. So, you know, you probably should.
Of course I am, but if you don't want to follow me, I just want to suggest, please follow UK Way on there. I would be grateful of that.
Absolutely. As would I.
And on top of that, we've also got the Burning Truth website, which is www.theburningtruthuk.com. We, of course, also make note that any external links on the website we cannot be held responsible for, as we have no control over them. Of course, you can also listen to past episodes on there, as such. But at the same time, you can also listen to all episodes, either be it on Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Deezer, or any other available sources. And of course, for our social media, we are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. And last but not least, that's going to be a wrap up for the shout outs. And of course, for our mental health message, we are going to state the following, which is: it is okay to be not okay. Asking for help isn't a weakness. You can end up finding out people care for you more than you know. Never compare your behind the scenes to other people's greatest hits. Tom Campbell. And of course, make yourself a priority once in a while. It's not selfish, it's necessary. And of course, if you can be anything,
be kind.
Be kind. And on top of that, there is one more person who is a massive advocate of mental health. Yep. And you won't see it coming, because I've got to get this information up now, and it is on my phone. And this one quite surprised me.
Is it Paul Heyman?
No, it's. Let's just say this: he allowed himself to be seen for this one shout out. But anyway, are you ready for this?
Okay.
Yes.
#meet Moop.
Let's just say this: for Message for Mind, Tom Mills is the one who's been pushing it in heavily behind Message for Mind, and he ended up having a absolute message from somebody who he did not expect. It is none other than the multiple former WWE champion.
If you're going down the road I think you're going down, record equaling former champion.
Yes. None other than John Cena.
Wow.
Sending him a message praising him for his mental health awareness.
Nice.
Which is absolutely amazing. So with that, and on that note, I'm going to say we recommend you all stay well, stay safe, and until the next episode, check out your local wrestling promotions, social media. Give a call to a family member or a friend or even someone you haven't spoken to in a while. And that's it for this week. I've been Matt Burns.
I've been John Bloor.
And until next time, it has been emotional. Thank you very much for listening to The Burning Truth. We'll catch you later.
Ta-ta now. Bye-bye then.